I do implore all of you to make sure to try to savor the moments that you're in right now. Even on the dark days, even with the tough stuff, even just when you're bored crazy, even when you're impatient, I implore you to just enjoy the hell out of it. Sometimes there's a tendency to focus on just the tough stuff and to get into the worrying and the doubting and everything else, but you don't have the luxury to do that anymore. You're going to look back and realize this was the most precious and perhaps most challenging, but the most precious time of all your lifetimes. You're not just carrying the weight of you in this lifetime. What I mean by that is, as you come to your realization in this lifetime, it's bringing all the aspects back home. Everything that is going on with you right now is natural. It's not the human who can do realization. The human can choose to experience what it's like going into it and through it, but the human doesn't do it. Everything, including bringing wisdom into your life now, everything, including everything you're doing, is really about allowing. It's this simple. Not allowing. Not allowing. 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 You don't need that umbrella over your head anymore. You don't need to shield yourself from your own self. You held that umbrella out for a long, long time, shielding yourself from God knows what. Shielding yourself from energy that you thought was somewhere else, belonged to something else. Shielding yourself from even from your soul. Shielding yourself from human consciousness. Shielding yourself so you wouldn't be seen. Allowing is like this. No need for that umbrella anymore. You just allow. Yeah, you're going to feel vulnerable. Vulnerable to what? Only to yourself, only to your soul, only to your own energy. I'm going to tell a story.
Okay.
And it'll be a master story.
Sure.
And which you're familiar with, the master and, in this case, the master and the questioning students. And would you play the role of all the students who are gathered around listening to the master?
Oh, I would love to. I have a good history of being a very good student.
Good. So okay. you're gonna be represent all of them.
Sure.
I'm gonna play the role of the master. We're going to talk about happiness.
Master, will fame and fortune bring happiness?
Ultimately, happiness is unto itself and doesn't require fame or fortune. You see, these are only pursuits to happiness, but do not necessarily result in happiness itself.
Master, I came from an unhappy family. Is that my destiny?
There's an old saying, said the master, that goes, happy parents, happy children. Unhappy parents, very unhappy family. About 50% of happiness is literally in your genes the moment you're born. About 10% simply comes from, you would say, good fortune, things lining up, or what I would say to be your energy serving you, if you allow it. And yet about another 40% simply comes from mass consciousness, from your environment, from your reality and your perception of reality. So now, said the master to the students, it's totally up to you. Do you accept your own happiness, or you continue to rely on the family quotient?
Master, are you saying that happiness is a choice?
Happiness is a perspective. It's been your right all along. And now it's the question, will you allow it? And the better question is, why won't you allow it?
Master, what is the difference between peace and happiness?
In a way, they're both the same because they're both without conflict. Peace is when you come to terms with yourself. And in the peace, then, one can remember this natural gift of happiness that's in their lives.
Master, what is the relationship between self-worth and happiness?
Self-worth is your perception about yourself. When you realize that you are worthy, when you realize that there's no need anymore to feel any guilt and shame about anything, you are worthy, then it's so much easier to be in this state of happiness.
If I have health and finance issues, is it still possible to be happy?
It's the gift that spirit, your soul gave you, knowing that you were going to have a lot of interesting experiences, and said, and here's this thing of happiness that you can find, that you can come back to at any moment. It's always there, even in the worst storms. This happiness is always there. Even if there is disease in your body, and even if your financial abundance is not flowing the way you'd like, I'd like you to find that happiness. It's always there.
Master, are you happy?
At this point, the master got up, took a deep breath, and said, no doubt, no doubt. And that's the moral of the whole story. Doubts are the one thing that are going to take you away from happiness. Doubts. Doubting who you are, doubting why you're here, doubting where the planet is going right now, doubting your own capabilities, doubting your soul, doubting your mind, and definitely doubting your body. It served you well to a degree. Doubt made you question things, especially yourself. Doubt helped to sharpen your sword up to a point until you cut yourself really bad on it. Doubt gave you a mirror, but it was a very cracked mirror to look into. You no longer have the luxury of doubting yourself. It's time to move on. Time to start doubting whether you're really here for realization. Either do it or don't do it. It's time to stop doubting whether you're smart or stupid. Time to start doubting whether you're as good and worthy as anybody else. It's time to stop doubting whether it's your time for realization. You don't have that luxury anymore. Doubt will destroy happiness. Absolutely destroy it. And you have the right to be happy in your life. Well, it's not a philosophical discussion at all. You have the right for happiness, and you need that happiness in order to stay here on the planet as an embodied master.